We have touched on some pretty ancient theories of dreaming in our prior lectures. In this lecture, we will explore modern theories and we will delve into them in more detail. By modern theories, we mean those that emerged in the 20th century or later. In the first half of the 20th century, theories of dreaming were based on theory, and later, following the methodological revolution, theories were more based on the science of sleep, and scientific methods became more prominent and influential. We will begin with the first half of the 20th century, exploring those based in theory not because of their validity, but instead because of their intellectual and historical importance. The prominent theory of dreams in the first half of the 20th century was, of course, psychoanalytic theory. We will be exploring a number of these theories. One thing they all have in common is that main focus on the unconscious and the goal of exploring unconscious impulses, anxieties, and conflicts in dreams. The first two names, Freud and Jung, sometimes pronounced Young in the United States, are likely the most familiar to you. They were clearly the most important and influential psychoanalytic theories, but we will also look at other prominent psychoanalysts who tweaked, refined, expanded, and even deviated from psychoanalytic dream theory in different ways. Of course, we will begin with Freud. Freud's psychoanalytic theory is widely recognized in the Western world, and some components are still accepted today. In fact, his theory of the unconscious has evolved into a proliferation of very cool scientific research to date, evidencing the validity of implicit knowledge, implicit memories, implicit emotions, and so on. Yet much of his theory, including that pertaining to dreaming, comes across to many as particularly radical, bizarre, and overly sexual in nature. In our next segment, we will explore Freud's theory of dreaming. As we do, it may help to keep in mind the background context. Freud lived and worked in an atmosphere of very strict Victorian moral code, when sexual thoughts, concerns, and desires were strictly repressed. With this in mind, it's easier to understand how his theories would focus on the consequences of this type of extreme dysfunctional repression.